He doesn't find the combo pieces in time, and VLPS just crumbles under the Drax's pressure. Dog, very very safe there in the mid-late stages of the game. Like, playing around mind control tech the way he did, I mean, that took away one of the win conditions from VLPS, which was just mind control teching your opponent's strongest minion and then being able to keep the tempo afterwards. Very keen play from Dog in that one.
Yeah, and I think the only risk he took in that game was the turn where he decided not to taunt up. That was the only risk he took, and he was at 16 health, and that was the turn before he was about to play Jiraxis. So that was pretty much the only window where he was able to take a risk. And so he made sure that he did it on that turn, so that he had a lot of room moving forward. Every other turn he played safe, even going as far as to Dark Bomb a 3-2 to make sure that he wasn't going to be in range of combo. That was expertly played by Dog, I feel.
Yep. Second Zombie Chow deck in a row for Dog at this point. Like you said, this is a mid-range Paladin deck. VLPS has brought Priest to the table here. With a copy of Flash Heal and Acolyte Pain, you better believe you're going to find some Alkanite Soul Priest in here as well. And at least Starseeker for the long game plan. Now, Dog come firing early, and I know that Paladin, it's kind of like, it's almost like tricky how much it feels like Paladin is favored in this matchup. And the way I think they're mostly favored is in the early stages of the game. If the Priest doesn't really check the early aggression, they have to use a lot of tools to fight back on the board. But if they get the board early, the Paladin kind of struggles to ever regain that control. And so with this start from Dog, do you think that, like, do you feel like he has the advantage in this game because of that, or do you feel like that VLPS is still got like a really good fighting chance in this one?
I think VLPS has a fighting chance just because the way this deck is set up. Priest used to be a deck where once you run out of stuff, you're out of stuff. But with this new type of Priest, you always have Burst with the Flash Heal. You also have Elite Starseeker, so you have that longevity. But Dog also has a sneaky little card there tucked away in his hand, just a card, True Heart. The 1/1s, similar to against Control Warrior, where they don't have a hero power that interacts with the board, those 1/1s provide so much value later on in the game when both players are sort of out of powerful cards. And so this is going to be close, I feel, just because of the way these decks work. But Dog's already put on so much pressure. He's got the Juster card, True Heart. It's going to be a while before VLPS is able to get a lot going. And so I still feel that Dog is going to be favored.
Yeah. Goes ahead and plays the Outdoor Peacekeeper here. Wants to keep pressure on the board. The Holy Nova did a great job cleaning this board up. But still on the offensive, VLPS does have a lot of tools to slow this down, though. It picks up Light Bomb, too. That's such an important one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just card True Heart. Get it rolling. Okay.
Does have a couple of options here, too, though. I mean, at this point, when he lands the Justicar here, I feel like his plan just completely shifts away from the aggressive stance he took. Like, okay, the aggressive stance got cleared up. My opponent played a Sludge Belcher to back that up. The aggression's gone at this point. Now he needs to ride that hero power for quite a while here to make up for the loss from that the Holy Nova caused on this board. VLPS just going to go for Elite Starseeker and heal.
Yeah, so now you just hero power every turn. He plays really heavily into Light Bomb if he plays Dr. Boom and smacks the face here. He could play Dr. Boom and trade. You know, I would be, okay with that play. You don't really have burst finishers as a paladin. You might have a Blessing of Kings and a True Silver Champion. 8 damage burst is what you top out at as a paladin, and that's for 8 mana. So the aggressive line is not as important, and I like how he plays a little bit around Light Bomb here, and he fits in that hero power, like you mentioned, riding that out.
Yeah, and so this is the spot I think where the game could potentially go in VLPS's favor. Like if he keeps using his cards right over the next couple turns, it's going to be pretty easy for him to clean up most of this board pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to choose to heal up to Wild Pyromancer here. So Dog set up to trade this Justicar here well, but given that VLPS is at 13, he may have some different ideas in mind here.
Yeah, he's still got lots of tools, though. Entomb is, the ultimate counter to Tyrion Forging. Light Bomb is a reset against a class that has trouble reloading the board in mid-range Paladin. Cabal Shadow Priest, again, there's so many cards that thing can take that are fantastic in mid-range Paladin. Shield of Minibot, Haunted Creeper, which I think Dog runs 2 in this mid-range Paladin deck. And worst comes to worst, you take a 1/1, which there's always going to be one of those. There's a plethora of those in this deck.
Yeah, just going to go with Dr. Boom here. Man, Dog had so many decisions last turn. He could have gone for Aldor trades. He could have gone for Aldor, Keeper of Uldamon, to clear the board and keep a little bit of pressure on his side. Goes for Dr. Boom this turn instead. I mean, is he feeling like maybe VLPS doesn't have a Light Bomb, or is just going to have to expend a ton if he wants to Entomb this? Yeah, just going to Light Bomb. Don't blame him for that one. And this is one spot, once again, like the Light Bomb does a good job clearing this up, but Dog just keeps getting initiative turn after turn. And to me, that's the big deal in this game, is that Dog is kind of the one maintaining his footing in this game.
Yeah.
Like, look, VLPS just AoEs, 5/1/1s, go.
Yeah. And he plays around Cabal Shadow Priest nicely here, making sure that he buffs up the Haunted Creeper as opposed to one of the 1/1 hero powers. And now it's going to be tough. VLPS finds his own Justicar Trueheart, but can't even fit it in that turn. Can't even double dip with those hero powers.
Yeah, once again, this is the interesting part about Paladin to me, is how many options that Keeper Moldavon gives you turn after turn. Like, when is the right time to use this card? And so here he's taking it just like, he goes, you know what, 5 damage is enough on this Death Lord. I need to take this right now. Looks like he's going to muster for battle. Keep the Keeper of Uldamon as fresh as he can. It's protecting it from Light Bomb, and it's protecting it from I
think he might even trade in the Keeper.
Yeah, just going to trade.
Oh. Yeah.
Pulling the Quartermaster out doesn't feel very good.
No, not at all. Especially when you have that many 1/1s on the board, and he doesn't get the maximum value of this hero power, but he's still. Ooh, that doesn't. I mean, it allows him to clear up the 1/1s, but look how much damage he's taking. He's taking 8, 9 damage at least. He can play that and Cabal Shadow. No, he wouldn't be able to. He could Cabal Shadow Priest the Quartermaster.
Just Flash Heal here to keep him topped up, clear up the 1/1s, take that 2/4. That's left over. Dangerous spot for him, though. I mean, if Dog can manage to clear up the next couple of turns very well, I feel like VLPS is really in trouble. And the hero power is just going to keep churning as well.
Yeah. And this is also where, like you mentioned, the hero power comes into play even more so, because Dog's out of stuff, or sorry, VLPS is out of stuff to start removing the board. If he picks up that Alkanai Soul Priest, he's going to have a play.
Ooh, second Death Lord. Provide a little bit of a wall here for VLPS. That's kind of exactly what he needs right now, too. I mean, being at 7 and Dog completely using all of his... Like, Dog's out of resources at this point. So it's a matter of whether or not this next card can get through it. Tyrion right after the Entomb gets used.
Wow.
Wow, that is a huge draw. VLPS needs some heat behind this, or this game is going to be done quick.
I mean, I even mentioned it earlier. I said Entomb is one of the best ways to deal with Tyrion Fordring. I think it is hands down the best. Because not only do you not give them the Ashbringer, but you put a Tyrion in your deck, which is nuts as a priest, I feel. And so now without that Entomb, I feel like the Entomb last turn was necessary by VLPS to allow him to clear off some of the board and allow him to hold on to his own. But Zombie Chow is probably the worst draw he could have gotten from this deck, and looks like it's over.
That draw of the Zombie Chow was nailed in the coffin. VLPS never finds an Alkanai this game, and that's something that Priest is always kind of victim to, is that it's got a lot of these 2-card combos in its deck, that when you draw them and you're able to utilize them very well, like that's where Priest pulls ahead, is it gets so much value from 2-card combinations that the hero power topping you back up to 30 and then just relying on the sheer raw power of your cards afterwards, that's like the bread and butter of that deck. But when you kind of draw it piece by piece and you have one piece left hanging, that's when Priest kind of looks like it's at its worst. I mean, if you looked at that game, Circle of Healing was a dead card almost the entire time. So much so that he was forced to Entomb a 3/3 Divine Shield just so he can keep controlling the board because the pressure Dog was pushing out there. And then that Tyrion afterwards. Wow. I mean, what better draw could you possibly get? I guess Quartermaster would have been really good there as well. But one of them got pulled out from the Death Lord there too. It's just, you get that Justicar hero power rolling, you are going to be able to keep pressure on Priest the entire game.
Yeah, very true. And now